Congress has officially chosen VD Satheesan as Kerala's new Chief Minister. But the real story may not be who became CM. The real story may be how difficult it has now become for Congress to decide anything, without triggering a silent power struggle inside itself. Because within hours of the announcement, BJP leaders claimed Kerala's next Chief Minister would be remote-controlled by IUML. Reports emerged of back-channel negotiations. Questions were raised about whether all Congress MLAs were truly on board. And suddenly, what should have looked like a routine leadership transition started looking like something much larger. Not just a Kerala story, but a story about what happens when a national party slowly stops functioning like one single power center. Because maybe the real question here is not, why VD Satheesan? Maybe the real question is this: who actually has the power to decide inside Congress anymore? Now officially, Congress has presented Satheesan's elevation as a natural political transition. And to be fair, he was always one of the strongest contenders. Aggressive in opposition, visible in the media, popular among sections of the cadre, and seen by many in the party as a credible electoral face for the future. But behind the public messaging, the process reportedly exposed deeper tensions. Some Congress leaders were uncomfortable with how strongly the final decision appeared to be shaped from Delhi. Others were focused on factional balance, future cabinet influence, and internal leverage inside Kerala Congress politics. At the same time, IUML support quietly became one of the stabilizing factors behind the final consensus. And that is exactly where the story became politically explosive. Because once coalition arithmetic begins influencing leadership transitions, opponents immediately get an opening to question who is really driving the system. That is why BJP quickly moved toward the remote control narrative, not simply to attack Satheesan, but to frame Congress as a party increasingly dependent on negotiated power structures. But maybe Kerala exposed something much deeper than one leadership battle. Congress today no longer operates the way it once did. For decades, the party functioned through a strong central command structure. Delhi decided, state units adjusted. But when national dominance weakens, political power naturally starts decentralizing. And that changes the internal psychology of the entire party. Because now, state leaders know something important. They carry regional legitimacy. They control local organization. They influence cadres. They win or lose elections on the ground. Which means they increasingly expect negotiation, not instruction. But Delhi understands something too. If the High Command stops asserting authority completely, Congress risks looking fragmented nationally. So now both sides are constantly trying to project strength, even while depending on each other. And that creates a strange political reality. Nobody fully controls the system anymore, but nobody can afford to admit that either. And this is exactly why IUML suddenly became so important in this story. Not because IUML controls Congress, that would be an oversimplification, but because coalition partners naturally gain leverage when the central structure of a party becomes weaker. Congress needs allies to remain electorally competitive. Allies understand that. Which means every major decision slowly becomes consultation, negotiation, bargaining, and power balancing. And Kerala may simply be the clearest example of that process becoming visible in public. Because what looked like a CM appointment quietly exposed the complicated architecture holding the opposition together. VD Satheesan becoming Kerala's new Chief Minister may ultimately prove successful politically. But the larger significance of this moment may lie somewhere else entirely, in what it revealed about Congress itself. Because once a national party stops operating through unquestioned authority, every leadership transition becomes a negotiation between multiple power centers. State leaders, Delhi leadership, alliance partners, regional blocs, internal factions, all trying to measure who still has influence and who is slowly losing it. Kerala may not just have chosen a new chief minister. It may have revealed the new internal reality of Congress politics in India. You were watching Fault Lines. I'm Abhijit.